guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nikki and today we're going to talk about weight loss and my journey, and hopefully it helps you in your journey. I know that when I was trying to lose weight and when I was struggling and I was depressed, I would look for anyone and anything for inspiration, and it helped me so much at that time in my life. So that's why I really wanted to make this video. If you have any more questions regarding like what I did and like my fitness journey, please leave them in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer you guys. And of course, like always, if you do like this video and you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. So before anything, I just want to let you know that even though everyone's at different places in their journey, just remember that you are beautiful and you're one in a million, gazillion, billion. And even though it sounds so corny, it's so important that you love yourself as you are right now and start working on that self-love, because it's not ever like, oh, once I lose the weight, I will like myself more. You are the most important person in your life, and it is very crucial to all of this to love yourself, because loving yourself helps you be better and be more motivated and, you know, just keep going when things get hard. So always remember to love yourself, and remember that you are your best friend and like you are your biggest supporter, so you need to love yourself. I just wanted to say that before I start. So it was about I started noticing that my body was changing in 6th grade. I'm a very tall girl. I'm 6 feet tall, and I've always been really tall. Ever since I was little, I was lanky, but once I got to about 6th grade and, you know, we started developing curves and we get our periods, I started noticing that I couldn't eat whatever I wanted anymore, and it was very weird for me to start seeing like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that, or like, oh, I have a little stomach today. And I was so young, I think I was like 12 or 13. So that's when I started noticing that like I had to watch what I ate and I had to be aware of what I was eating. But I was always an athlete. I played basketball pretty much my whole life. Well, I really started taking it serious in high school. So luckily for that reason, I never really gained a lot of weight. I was always very active because of practices and games, and my practices were so hard. So that's the main reason I never really gained a lot of weight. I was a little heavy, but I was never, you know, unhealthy or anything like that. It wasn't until about my junior year in college that I went into a deep depression. I think I hurt my foot and I gained so much weight I couldn't practice. I was at a new school that I had just transferred to, and I was on a meal plan, and this meal plan was a cafeteria, all you can eat. So that was the main reason why I gained like over 30 pounds. I had no self-control. It was so hard for me to just grab one plate and be satisfied, because I would come back and sit with my friends and they were still eating. So naturally I would get up and grab another plate, grab dessert. There was like ice cream, like sundae bar, like there was everything. So it was really hard for me to have self-control, and I've always struggled with like binge eating. So that was really hard. I hurt my foot. I couldn't practice. I couldn't really even like walk. I couldn't even go on a treadmill and walk because I had to rest. So obviously being, you know, almost crippled, I couldn't really do anything. So I couldn't really burn enough calories, and I was eating so much. Third of all, I started drinking every weekend. I would eat like Ben & Jerry's all the time. I had like no self-control, and it was just a very hard year in my life. And I think I found comfort in food. So I gained over 30 pounds. I was the heaviest I had ever been, and it was really hard on my self-esteem, the way I felt. And I also, once I healed my foot, I wasn't getting playing time on my team, and that was like the first year of my life that I was not like the star player. So it was really hard on me, and it was just a lot going on for me. And obviously I found comfort in food, like I said. So I can totally relate to people that tell me that, you know, they binge eat or they don't have self-control and anything like that, because I struggled with that. So that's mainly how I gained the weight. And once I gained that weight, it was the craziest thing, because I had never been that heavy in my life. I was literally so close to 200 pounds. And even though I don't look like it in the pictures, I actually got my phone like I think it broke and I lost so many of the pictures of that year in my life, but I do have some, and I was very good at hiding my weight. But trust me when I tell you guys that it was very unhealthy. I felt terrible. I was so heavy, I was sluggish, I was depressed, and you know, just because maybe in the pictures you guys don't think that I look that big, trust me when I tell you that I felt terrible. And I don't want anyone to be like, oh, well, you weren't even big or anything like that, because my journey is different than yours. And this is how I felt, and this is my truth. So I was about 198, I believe. And that's really heavy because I'm like 165 right now. And I always preach to my clients, like, don't look at the scale. The number on the scale does not matter because of things I will tell you later in this video. But for that time in my life, that number did matter because I had never been that heavy, and that was not a healthy weight for me. So after seeing myself go down this terrible road and spiral out of control, I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I did all these things to make my life healthier and lose weight. And I'm going to begin with saying that the first thing I did was learn online. I went on bodybuilding.com, I believe. Back then, YouTube wasn't as big, and I would just go on bodybuilding.com and look at articles, meal plans, workouts. They have so much free information. This isn't like sponsored or anything. This is just really what I did. And I would look at workouts and nutrition articles and things like that, and I figured out my macros. Even though I wasn't counting calories or macros, I would kind of look at an estimate of how much protein I should be eating and carbs and things like that. And there's tons of free calculators out there on the internet. You could put macro calculator, and then it gives you like options to do all your details, like your height, your weight, and all that stuff. And so that's what I did. I found out what foods were good for me. So I started doing like a high protein diet. I removed myself from the meal plan at school. I no longer was eating in the cafeteria. I removed myself from situations that weren't going to help me in any way. And I knew I had to stop eating that food because really I wasn't cooking it. It wasn't coming from me. And I always tell people, even though you think you're eating healthy, like a fast food kind of place, like when they have healthy options, you have no idea where that food is coming from. You have no idea what oils are cooking it in. I personally think that the best way to lose weight is eating at home and making your own meals, because you know exactly what's in there. You cooked it, and you know, it's just, I think it's just healthier. So I learned about my nutrition, and I did the research. So you have to go online, you have to read articles, you have to learn about your body. Your body is a temple, and anything processed is so bad for you. A lot of people count calories, but they don't realize that not only do you have to count calories, you have to look at the sugar content in things and your carbs and things like that. Sugar is terrible for you if you're trying to lose weight. So remember, because I see a lot of people getting like, oh, this yogurt parfait at McDonald's, let's say. They think it's healthy because that's what they advertise it as. But little do you know, it has like 50 grams of sugar. So, I mean, I always say like you can burn calories, but the sugar stuff is terrible for you. So really start looking at your labels, start seeing what ingredients are in things that you're putting in your body, because remember, if a caveman can make it or eat it, it's probably good for you. Anything that's natural, anything that comes from the earth, it's good for you. My diet went a little bit like this. I would either drink a protein shake in the morning. Oh my God, sorry, I need to breathe. I would either drink a protein shake in the morning. I would have like half a cup of oatmeal with like blueberries. Blueberries were really the only fruit I really ate besides grapefruits, I think. And then I would do, I think 2 eggs, yeah, oatmeal. Then for lunch, I would have like ground turkey and sweet potatoes. Then I would have like Greek yogurt for a snack. And I would have for dinner again, like I think like chicken and vegetables and like ground turkey. And don't think that you can't season your food. Like sodium, you can sweat it out, you know? Just be careful with like sugars and things like that. So I would use like lemon pepper and like lime and hot sauce in my food, and it tasted amazing. You just have to learn how to cook your food so you like it. And there's tons of like meal prep videos out there, and if you guys want me to make some, let me know. But I just made sure that I was cooking my food and that I was meal prepping, because it didn't give me an excuse to like go out and like buy food. So like I said, the first thing I did was just figure out what what foods I should be eating and what I should stay away from, and just removing myself from situations that weren't good for me. I no longer bought ice cream, and I think I minimized my alcohol. I wasn't drinking as much, I think. I don't remember that part, but it was a long time ago. But I also want to say that, like, with your eating, the reason that you have so many cravings at first is because your body still has like all that crap inside of you. So like the less sugar you eat, the less you're gonna crave those like crappy foods. So just remember that the first few weeks are the hardest, and if you can get past those weeks enough to see changes in your body, you're gonna kill it, girl. Because trust me, the first weeks are the hardest because your body's like, oh my god, where is all my crap going, you know? So the less crap you eat, the less you're gonna crave it. Trust me. So just remember, just remind yourself, like, the first weeks are the hardest. I got this, I can do this. Just always tell yourself that. Second thing I would give you advice on is weights. So what I did, I would go to the gym besides going to practice once I was able to practice. But like I said, I wasn't getting playing time, so the practices weren't really doing anything for my weight loss, really. And so what I would do is go to the gym in the morning, I believe. I would go to the gym like super early in the morning, and I would do like 20 minutes of HIIT cardio. I didn't do a lot of cardio just because I knew I had practice, and so that was cardio, but it wasn't like too intense. And then I would do weights. So I would do like legs or like arms, back. I learned how to weight lift, and it seriously changed like my body. It changed my workouts because the more muscle you have, the more, you know, you're going to burn fat. So I made sure that I was weightlifting, and I loved it. I loved it. I don't like cardio as much, and I will say you kind of do need to do some cardio, but there's so many ways to do cardio. I personally like HIIT cardio, so it's shorter, but it's more intense. And if you Google HIIT cardio workouts, you'll find a ton of them. So I would do that, and I would do weights, and I would do that about 3 to 5 times a week, especially because I was still in season. But after that, I would try to go to the gym like 5 times a week, and I truly enjoyed it. It was like my getaway. It was my escape. And there was some days obviously that I didn't want to go, but as long as you stay consistent, you learn to love it. And don't be intimidated if like you feel like, oh, people are gonna look at me funny because I don't know what I'm doing. Don't worry. Like, go on hours that it's not as busy, or just find a little corner and do a little circuit. Just start out small until you get more comfortable. Know that you can absolutely do it, and no one's gonna stare at you. Honestly, when I go to the gym, I'm not like looking around to see who's doing what. I'm focused on my workout, and I'm worried about myself. So get your nutrition right, get your workouts right, make sure you're doing weights. Don't just be a cardio bunny, because remember, you want to build muscle. And another thing I will say with the weights is don't look at the scale until about like a month after you start like doing your health thing. Because if you're looking at the scale like every other day or every week, remember that we as women, we retain water, our weight fluctuates a lot. And if you're constantly looking at the scale, you're gonna get so discouraged when you don't see it go down. So just remember that. And also remember, if you start weightlifting, sometimes you may not see a lot of difference on the scale because your body composition is changing. So what I tell my clients always is to take before pictures like this, sideways, and from the back. So when you don't see that scale go down, you could look at those pictures and see the difference, see how your clothes fit you, see like in the pictures, you know, take weekly pictures instead of weighing yourself weekly. And that's my biggest advice, because I think we get so discouraged looking at the scale and we don't realize that we're, you know, changing the way our body is. And you're not going to get manly doing weights. If anything, it's going to give you curves and, you know, bring out the booty and like have nice toned arms. So just remember that, not to let the scale dictate how you feel. And another thing I did was I followed girls on Instagram that inspired me and kept me motivated. Don't follow people that are gonna make you feel crappy. Be very careful about who you're following and who you're looking up to. And just remember, a lot of people lie on Instagram. I see girls all the time with fake butts and fake this, selling all these workout plans and telling girls how to lose weight and get the body that they have but they bought. So just be very careful with who you're looking up to on Instagram and what you're looking at. Make sure it's not toxic for you and giving you unrealistic goals and you know, looking at those things makes you feel bad about yourself. So just remember that. Keep following people that keep you motivated, keep you inspired, because that's what I did. I would look at girls all the time that really kept me motivated. Surround yourself with people that want to see you do well. If you have to have like a workout partner, like a friend that wants to do it with you, it's so nice to have someone that's going to be there for you and help you. Because sometimes it gets really tough and we want to give up. And for a while, I did this thing where I would do really good for a few days and like binge eat and then like do it all over. So don't worry, it happens. You just have to get up and do it again. Keep going, keep being better than you were the last time. Because eventually you're going to see changes and you're going to be like, damn, like I can do this. And you become so addicted to that feeling in a good way. Like you want to feel better because you realize how good you feel. You realize like you can absolutely lose weight and like you don't have to be that girl anymore that says like, oh, I'll start on Monday or I'll start next month. Like this can be you if you just don't give up. It took me about like 4 to 5 months to really start seeing the weight like completely off, because I remember at the end of the year we had a banquet and it was like the athlete banquet, and I remember wearing like this little dress thing and I looked way thinner. So it was around that time that I started completely changing my body, and the next year after that my body just kind of adjusted to my new, like, I don't know if it was like my metabolism or the way my body was working, because I didn't really gain a lot of weight. And nowadays I don't really gain a lot of weight. Like I know what I should be eating and I know how to kill my workouts, so my body stays at the same like I would say weight and like composition. So once you start, you know, gaining muscle and like getting those workouts in and like getting in the habit of eating a certain way, I still go out and eat all the time. I still love Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, but I know that I should be eating better like 80% of the time. And you don't have to be a slave to your diet or anything like that. Just find a good balance that works for you. And don't ask people what their macros are or their calories, because their bodies are different than yours. And I think a lot of people try to like base their calorie intake and stuff like that off someone else's because they think their bodies are similar. But just remember that you are different and you need to calculate what's good for you. Another thing I will say is drink a ton of water. Water helps you, you know, with your metabolism. And make sure you're eating, because I think a lot of girls do this thing where they don't eat a lot because they think they're going to lose weight like that. But you want to eat. You want to keep your metabolism working. But just as long as you're eating whole foods, you'll be fine. I don't think I ever really counted calories. I just became aware of what I should be putting in my body. So just remember that. And if counting calories works better for you, totally do it. Just don't become obsessive and unhealthy. Just do what makes you feel good. That's like the biggest thing. So that's pretty much how I lost weight. There is no magic pill. It's not like a secret formula. It was just consistency, trial and error. I just kept going and I just made those small changes, like the sugar, the workouts, making sure I'm eating whole foods, not so much processed things, staying away from things that are gonna make me binge eat. Just that. And don't buy things that you can't have self-control with. Like I don't buy chips or anything like that because I'll eat the whole bag still. Like I will admit that. So just remember that, guys. And you can do this. I know it's the new year coming up and people are like ready and they give up after like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, 1 week. You can do this. This can be your year. Like don't let another year go by thinking like, oh, like, you know, this isn't for me, like I'm always going to be like this, because the more you wait, the more you're letting time pass and you could have been closer to your goal already. So I hope this helped you. I hope I like helped you in some way. If there's any questions that you want answered, just let me know and I'll make another video with more details. This is just what off the top of my head, what I can like tell you and remember. So yeah, and good luck to everyone starting their fitness journey. Just remember to love yourself and that you can absolutely do anything you set your mind to, and just envision yourself feeling good and looking healthy. I'll see you guys next time.